Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everyone has had a good week. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Very happy to be back with y'all yet again for another painting session. Sound off in the chat if you're here, of course, as always. I don't have much preamble for y'all tonight because we're just going to be doing more of the same. Hey, Godzilla, it's good to see you, buddy. How you doing? How was school this week? How's life treating you? Hopefully very good. Hopefully all that is going very well and good for you, because you deserve the very best this life has to offer, my friend. What was I gonna say? Yeah, don't have much preamble for y'all. We're just gonna jump right into the model. Now that we've got like the big juggernaut portion of the project done, or one of them at least, which is the polynomials. Ooh, for real. Polynomial equations are the worst. That was one of the things that made like algebra 2 back in high school for me like so freaking hard. Oh my god, I struggled to wrap my head around those for like forever. Don't worry, it is not just you. It is a tricky thing to wrap your head around, but you know what though? You got this. I believe in you. What are we going to be doing tonight? Yeah, on this stream tonight, we are going to be focusing primarily on all of the finer details of the model. You know, we're going to go in and paint all the things like the sword and her cloth and the birds and the scrolls and all that jazz. All that jazz we've kind of been generally ignoring throughout this stream project so far. And then finally get those colored in and brought up to the level of like, you know, where the armor itself is at in terms of level of detail and everything. And then from there, we're going to be pretty close to being done with this model finally, which is really exciting. But yeah, thank y'all so much for supporting me as always. If you like what you see here tonight, don't forget to leave a like at some point while you're tuned into the stream. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I go live every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time right here at youtube.com/@ChimeraGames. If you want to follow me on my social medias, all of those are found in the description below. And with that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into painting while we chat and catch up with each other, as we are prone to do here on my channel. Alright, so where are we with Celestine? Well, basically her armor is done. I'm willing to call her armor complete at this point. I'm very happy with the way that it looks. I mean, like the main like copper plate, obviously there's still details on the armor, like the wings on the kneecaps and like the insignia on both shoulder pads that still need to be painted in, and we are going to get to that tonight. I think the main thing I want to tackle tonight, thank you Godzilla, I appreciate that. The main thing I want to get to tonight is I want to start layering on the cloth here, and also start layering on all the parts that are colored khaki, start getting the white down, or the whites and the off-whites down pretty much. And yeah, that'll be a good chunk of progress to make. I'm also going to work on this sword blade here too, I believe, and then I think from there we'll be calling it a paint session there. I will say tonight's stream might not be too long. I do have to get up very early for work in the morning. Unfortunately, I have work this weekend and I have a very early start, way earlier than I usually do. So I'm probably not gonna go forever, or probably not gonna go for the full 3-hour stint like we usually do, but you know, we're just gonna start painting and we'll see where we end up by the time, maybe like in a couple hours from now or something, you know. So right away what I'm noticing is we need some cleanup work done on a couple of parts of the model, but especially on our blue cloth. So I'm gonna take my small brush here and I'm gonna work on those to start ourselves off tonight. Just gotta get back to these edges and repaint those in blue. Looks like some paint might have come off of these areas in our handling of the model while we were painting the NMM, which is fine because these are very easily corrected and coverable. So we're just going to do it. What minis are you looking on getting next? We're going to Death Guard next, Godzilla Nid. Our next stop after finally finishing my Sisters of Battle army is going to be, and it'll be officially done with this model. Yeah, we're going into the Death Guard next. I think the next painting project after this one is going to be working on a squad of Plague Marines. So that's what we are going to look on to doing next, basically. Let's see here. Just a touch of water to rehydrate this paint right here. Looks like my wet palette might have dried out a little bit incidentally between streams, but that's okay. That is okay. Hey, Nikki, what's good, bro? Good to see you. How's your week been? Hopefully it has treated you very well. Right now we're just going through and we're doing some repair / correction work on other parts of the model that have been sort of neglected this whole time before we go in and start layering on in those areas. Same, I'm painting my Lord of Virulence and getting on a... And then looking on getting a Night Lancer. Very nice, very nice. Your Norn Emissary. I know I commented on your post about this already, Godzilla, but your Norn Emissary that you finished this week. Fucking awesome, dude. Good shit. Same with you, Nikki. I've been looking at your posts too. You've been really, yeah, I was gonna say, you've been doing a lot of painting this week. You've been really cranking out the models, which good on you, fam. Big ups to you for sure for that. Yeah. Let's see. I think we're good on the blue for now. This looks generally pretty okay. Anything else that we need to cover up is going to get covered up as we move on to other steps. So I'm not worried too much about progressing this. So we are going to... I do need to, like, really quickly, I think. I'm going to really quickly... Actually, hold on. I just noticed one area that definitely needs to be... Dang. How did so much paint end up coming off of this model as we were... not even painting these parts of it. My goodness, I don't even really remember touching it right here, but alright, cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that one thing that I think I want to do is I need to find one of my softer brushes real quick. I've been kind of made a little jump to doing it professionally, at least temporarily. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Hey, look. Keep it up. You better be getting used to it here pretty soon, right? You never know. You never know. I'm gonna take a soft brush here and I'm just gonna really quickly dust off my Mini because I'm noticing some particulates that have settled onto the model in the time since we last touched it. And I just want to get rid of those so we have a nice clean painting surface basically. Oh, why must our models get dusty? One of the saddest facts of life. Okay, that should be fine. Alright. I'm gonna take a spot of black paint here real quick. Let's see. Gonna take a spot of black paint here, and we're gonna finally fix this like zipper down the middle of the armor that's been like kind of splotchy this entire time, because I was just laying, this is, you know, this dates all the way back to the very beginning of the project when I was just like blocking out colors. I gotta just really quickly finally fix this. Nice. And that didn't take very much at all to finally solidify. All right. Nice. All right. See a little bit of opportunity for corrections on the tube leading from her neck area too, so we're gonna get to that as well. Okay. Okay. Nice. That's all looking nice and tidy. Oh, I need to paint her sword handle. That's something that I missed on my initial pass. That definitely needs to get painted black. And I can get some on the hands, because her hands, I'm going to treat her hands as if they're bare, so she's not like wearing gloves. So like eventually we're going to paint her skin tone on, and when I do that, if I get any black dots on her hand while painting this sword handle, that's fine. Those are going to get covered up very easily once we move on to painting her skin, which is going to be probably the last, one of the last things we do for Celestine herself, is we are going to paint her skin on. So we have a little while to go before we even have to really worry about that. That reminds me, I just realized I'm low-key running low on black paint. I'm gonna go get some more from the store at some point. Not like I'll have the time to do it this weekend. Seeing as I am working 2 12-hour days back to back this weekend. Oh boy. And then I still have to go to work on Monday. It's all good though. We out here. We will make it work. We will survive. I gotta go eat dinner, be back in a bit. Alright, bone apple teeth, as the French say. I will see you in a little bit, Godzilla Nerd. Alright. Okay, all that's looking good and nice and touched up. So now where do we want to go next? No, actually I take that back. There was one other thing that I wanted to paint on before we continue here. Question is, what was it? Because I'm low-key struggling to remember what it was. Oh, yes, this doohickey right here on her leg, this little charm. Which I did not notice initially when painting the armor. Even though I spent a lot of time on and work and effort on this leg right here. But, you know, we're just going to paint this black, I think, just to give it a nice little bit of contrast up against the armor. I was debating maybe making this like a white, but nah, I think the cord itself that's sticking out from her leg will be black. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Perfection. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, this works. And then there we go. Just got a little bit of water where it shouldn't be any water. That's okay. Okay, so this is going to be black, yep. Let's see. Picking out. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. All right, cool. Let's go here now, take some of our khaki and base coat. Ooh, dang, that paint separated a lot on the palette. That's okay, we can remix it. Remix. Yeah, when this khaki, I've noticed that when this German camo beige, when it separates pretty violently. Am I going to paint her little guards too? Yes, I am. Or I'm not going to paint them gold. I'm actually going to paint them purple, because I think I've mentioned this before, but my my sort of like not general schema, my sort of like expanded schema for my army is that like the more elite units, more elite infantry have purple armor as opposed to like the standard infantry's blue armor. And even though they're like Celestine's bodyguards, I kind of see them in my mind as like literally just higher level Seraphim or Zephyrim, right? So I'm gonna make their armor purple just to sort of add a little visual variety to the total piece and to kind of fall in line with that general scheme is what I'm thinking. So I think their purple armor next to her like copperish armor is going to look like really cool when posed up to posed up next to each other, like in the final pictures I end up taking. I see, like the Sanguinary Guard. Yes, exactly, like the Sanguinary Guard versus the rest of the Blood Angels. Precisely. Or like an Apothecary versus like, you know, any other type of Space Marine. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You are picking up exactly what I am putting down. Yeah. I like to do that for my own sanity, especially like back when I was like still painting like standard battle sisters. Like, oh my gosh, I mean, I've painted literally about 30 of those, which I know like for some people that's not a lot, but for your first army and for an individual army, that's a lot of the same unit to paint, you know. I mean, I know there's still Tyranid players out there who've painted way more Termagants than that, but you get my point though. Shaking it up helps to keep things from being too boring, you know. You know, it is a lot. I don't care who you are. Yeah, exactly. It is so 30 of the same type of model, no matter what model it is, no matter what faction you're playing, is a lot to paint. That's why I hated NIDs. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I know I've mentioned this in the past, back when, especially like when my poll was active, but like when we are going to get to Tyranids at some point in the future, and oh boy, when we do, that is going to be a marathon. That is going to be a marathon and a half. I can see it now. We're gonna have a fun time though, all the same. Still gonna have a fun time though. Still gonna have a fun time. All right, I'm just getting my bigger brush ready. I feel like this whole time I haven't used my big brush since I'm pretty sure since the first stream. Just because we've been doing such fine work on the model. But I gotta just get this ready real quick. This poor brush has seen so much action in recent times. Ooh, it is starting to fray. But that's okay. This brush came for free in the speed paint set I purchased, so like, if any brush in my collection is expendable right now, it is definitely this one. Let's see. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. Alrighty. That was work. Just had to respond to that really quickly. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to take our Vallejo model color medium blue. Now we're gonna thin this down into a glaze consistency. I know I said last time that we were pretty much done with glazing, but we're actually not quite done with glazing yet. We're gonna take this, we're gonna thin it down to a glaze consistency, and we're gonna apply this to the cloak and all of the raised areas of it. And this is going to help us to start building up like lighter layers and get a nice, hopefully a very nice looking layered look to the cloak. I've been trying to be better about painting cloth, so I've been studying up on how to like paint better cloth, and this is the method I've devised would work best for me at my skill level, which is, you know, it's slightly more difficult than stuff that I've done in the past, but hopefully it's going to turn out well and look cool. So yeah, Vallejo model color medium blue, which, as you can see, according to like their paint numbers on the side right here, you see our dark Prussian blue, which is the base coat, is number 50, and then the medium blue is like number 57. So it's like a few shades, I suppose you can say it's like 7 shades or so lighter than this blue, which is about what I want actually. That's about the level of transition I want between the two colors. So let's get this mixed up. I can tell I've barely used this bottle because it's still very full. I think the last time I used this, no, I don't think I even used this for my, no, I didn't even use this for my Sandstone Necrons way back before I started streaming. That was a project I worked on last year. I used the Citadel equivalent instead because I wasn't anywhere near a store that sells Vallejo. The Citadel equivalent of this would be McCrag Blue. Is it still called McCrag Blue? Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, that paint. If you're looking for an equivalent to this. There's this great webpage I found like ages ago called like Daka Forum, I think it's called. And on there's a post about like that's like it's a chart of like different colors across paint brands and like what's similar to what, if you're looking for like the same color but made by different brands. Say if you can't find the brand near you but you can find another brand, you know. So yeah, might try to pull it up here in a little bit actually. But yeah, alright, so let's get this medium blue thinned down into a glaze consistency. And then go from there. And we will thin it down in the way we've become accustomed to doing. That looks like actually way too much water. Hold up. I'm going to start with one single brush load of water directly into the paint. There we go. Alright. We're gonna test the consistency of that, because that actually looked like it did the job right away. But I'm not entirely sure. Don't want to make any moves yet before we test anything. That actually looks pretty good. Let me blot that. Alright. That is pretty thin. I think I'm willing to work with that. Alright. So we want the color, as we're doing this, to start building up in like the high points of the cloak, so like right here along the edges of these folds, right? So as I paint this, I'm not necessarily moving from like top to bottom necessarily. Instead, I am gonna like make sure that our paint ends up basically on all the points where we want there to be the most saturated color, right? So I'm gonna be moving from both the top and the bottom of the cloak toward the middle, because that's where I want the color to start like building up basically. And we're gonna go for the highest, we're gonna go for the glaze on all the highest areas here. That's basically what we're gonna do. Just targeting the highest areas of the cloak for now. And the idea is that as we build this up, of course, and leave behind our base coat, we'll get some nice contrast, some nice shadows, you know, going. And that should hopefully look pretty good by the time all is said and done. And now that we are practically masters at glazing, I'm actually not feeling very nervous about doing this at all, because now I know how to get like that glaze consistency that I really like. I was debating whether or not I wanted to even do the underside at all, and I think I will do up the underside a little bit. Why not? It won't have to be done up as much, because obviously since this is the under part of the cloak, it's not casting as much light. Which means we don't need as much of a saturated color buildup going on here as we need on the back side. On the top part, right? So that being said, we move on, being generally pretty lax about what we put on the underside. I would like a decent amount of color down there though, but I'm not gonna go too crazy, too stupid over how much we ultimately get down there, because also too, of course, I don't want to get any blue paint on the armor that we have so meticulously spent so much time painting, because that would suck a lot if that were to happen. Indeed. Indeed. Yep, okay, cool. Perfect. Gonna of course hit the core set right here too. Just getting like the very front and all the highest parts of it. Whew. Let me tell you something, this brush right now is anything but pointy. So I'm trying to be very, very careful about my application here. Only loading up a little bit of paint at a time. I do not want to overdo it. Are you done with the armor? I am done with the armor, yeah. I'm gonna call the armor done for now. Maybe might go back and do a couple more touch-ups at the end if I deem it necessary, but generally speaking, we are done with the armor now, yeah. We are done with the armor. At least for now. That is not nearly thin enough, hold on. Looks great. Thank you, Nick. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, that's the thing, right? It's like part of like my like one of my like you know, my not my quirks, but like one of those things that like I kind of have to like, get over as an artist is acknowledging when things are like done and learning how to leave things alone without like, you know, stressing about like, you know, every single like little detail. Before I like, you know, ruin what it is I'm even trying to do, right? What I'm trying to work on. And so like me deciding that the armor is done for now is kind of just me exercising that, in a way, because I do not want to overcorrect and ruin what is already a pretty great looking model. You know? Alright, and our color's already starting to build up very nicely here. Very common feeling for artists, right? Yeah. Exactly. Sure, it's something we can all relate to. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see here. You know, actually, it's funny because, like, thinking about this idea of like knowing when to recognize that something is like done, I recently read this this article that was sent to me by a friend of mine who studied music, right, and who knows that I do this whole like miniature painting thing. And in it, this guy, I forget the dude's name, but basically this composer who was interviewed for this article, said that the way you know that, like, in this case, in his case, a piece of music is done, is complete, is not when you've run out of things to add. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, but you know it's done when not when you've run out of things to add, but when you've run out of things to remove. He was kind of speaking on like minimalism in art, specifically minimalism in like music composition, right? And I was like, dang, that is so real. Like, we tend to think of like completion as like, you know, adding until suddenly everything is like, you know, all there, we think. But then like, what happens when you consider instead like, oh, it's not like when I finally stop adding things that the project is done, it's when I stop removing things. The only thing is that like, it's not totally applicable to miniature painting because, of course, as we all know very well, if you've ever messed up a model, removing your mistakes, removing what doesn't work is something that's a lot trickier to do than when like you're writing a piece of music, right? I think that's one of the things that like really drawn me to miniature painting over like the last, you know, year and a half I've been in this hobby. It's that the work itself kind of forces you to like commit to your choices, and, you know, like work with it, you know, or take the drastic measures to like, you know, correct your mistakes and everything, right? But more or less you're kind of like going with the flow, right? And as someone who really needs to learn how to do that more so in his own life, I think that learning to be a miniature painter has been very instructive in that regard, you know? There we go. That's nice and glazy. That blue is looking good. Ah, thank you. Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is building up so far. I'm glad I made the decision of going with this blue. At first I wasn't entirely sure because it's not like I purposely chose this. It's not like I purposely purchased this paint for the project. This is a paint that I've had for a long time, actually, and I've just never really used all that much. So but I figured, you know, it's like the next lightest blue in my collection, so I kind of just figured like, oh, okay, we'll make it work. And I think so far we are doing exactly that. We are indeed making it work. Okay. Is Celestine like the main HQ of your army, or are there other more complicated models to be painted? Good question. So for now, at least, it's like Morven Vol and Celestine are kind of like the two juggernauts of my army. I have them both. Morven Vol, I painted her like over a year ago, long before I became like a content creator in the space at all. So there's her. Celestine, though, is like the HQ that I want to bring when like it's kind of impossible to bring Vol. So like for smaller point games, and also just to have like another heavy hitter. So the issue with Sisters is that there's kind of like no such thing as a main HQ, because you kind of have to bring almost all of the HQs available for Sisters. Because it's, or at least if you know, if you're going for a more like infantry focused list like I am, because I think playing like, you know, 6 different fucking tanks is kind of boring. But yeah, no, but if you're going the more infantry focused route, you do have to bring like almost every single named character that the Sisters have, because they're that good. They are, and this was true for us in 9th edition too, they are consistently among the most competitively viable units in our army, which is not saying a lot, because like the rest of the codex is pretty lacking in that department. Not going to lie, not going to cap at all. Sisters are in a tough spot right now, and we kind of need every single ounce of like specialized armor and firepower that we can get. So yeah, hence Celestine. The idea with her is to attach her to a 10-woman squad of my Seraphim that I have, and have them come down from the sky turn 2 or 3 to mess some stuff up. The issue with Sisters is that our tactics are so predictable because we don't have that many. We have like, you know, Sky Strike, like walking on with Paragon Warsuits and Morven Vol on turn 2 or 3. Same thing with Celestine and her Seraphim descending from the skies on like turn 2 or 3. We have I mean, our melee is not that good anymore. We have like Miracle Dice spam on like Retributors. We have like Dialogus Retributor combo to like auto 6 a bunch of our Miracle Die, etc, etc. You kind of get my point. The point is that in all those scenarios, pretty much the tactic, the interaction kind of isn't feasible. It's not, in some cases it's not feasible, but in most cases it's just not, it's flat out not possible without the presence of a character. And so yeah, hopefully we stop being so reliant on them. But there's that, and then there's the Triumph of St. Catherine, which brings me to the Triumph of St. Catherine, right? So the Triumph is like really good because of the buffs it gives Sisters access to. I do have the Triumph, I do have it built, but I'm planning on saving painting that for like a special occasion, because also like after I complete this model I will be at 2,000 points, and I've been painting Sisters for a long time, and I would like to be able to move on to something else here soon. Not just for my own sake, but also for the sake of y'all's entertainment. In fact, if I remember correctly, one of our sub goals is like it's like a stretch sub goal, but also like we might just paint it anyway at some point in the future, no matter what, is to paint the Triumph of St. Catherine. I think when we get to like I think I put that on there as like 5,000 as like a reach goal, but yeah, otherwise we are going to just sort of move on and do other army projects, because I'm interested in trying out new things. But yeah, the Triumph is literally the last one though. Like I own literally every single Sisters named HQ except for Estrid Thurga, because she's not the best. In 9th edition, she was like the one unit in the entire codex that was like so obviously bad. It's like if you took her, it was like, what the heck are you doing? Now I hear she's actually like not bad. I just have no interest in the model. I think it's kind of boring. That's kind of the thing with me, and like how I choose to build up my army is like it's a balance between like what's fun to paint and then what I think will be fun to play on the tabletop as a result. I think that's why I like kill teams, small teams, and a lot of variety. Yeah, that's well, I went to like one of my my gaming group's meetups recently, and there was like a lot of Kill Team going down. And before I hadn't really paid much attention to it, but I decided to. I didn't bring my models with me to play. I was just there to hang out. And like grab a snack too at the gaming cafe. But I decided to like sit and actually like observe the Kill Team games going on. I was like, dang, this actually looks like really fun, and like it also looks like a great way too to just like collect factions without like making a massive commitment to them, which I think is really cool. I'm also a big fan of like tactical games like that. Like, I don't know if you know, well, you probably know XCOM, the XCOM franchise. Love those games, and Kill Team is just like a tabletop version of that, which I think is pretty cool. Speaking of, there's also the new Star Wars game too, Shatterpoint, which has kind of piqued my interest in recent times. I've been thinking about getting the starter set. Some of the local game stores around here have it in stock. It's so weird. I wasn't even remotely interested in that game, and then I learned that the starter set comes with terrain, and I'm like, oh shit, that kind of changes things. I was like, dang, that kind of changes a lot actually, because like I love Star Wars, and looking at the models that are included in that starter set, I'm like, ooh, Ventress, Ahsoka, like I want those models. The thing that kind of intimidates me about like getting into games like Star Wars Shatterpoint or like Star Wars Legion or like Marvel Crisis Protocol is that these characters are like so iconic, and so like I'm scared to like, I'm like anxious about needing to like, you know, quote unquote paint them right, you know, like paint them so that they look very much like what I remember seeing like the comic books, or in like Star Wars case like the movies and the TV shows and stuff. You know, a lot more pressure to like paint them like quote unquote canonically, right? Canonically. And so I have been hesitant to get into those games for that very reason, although I am very interested in them. And I think I'm later on down the pipeline, I think I will indeed be getting into like Shatterpoint and Marvel. And I definitely want to get into Marvel Crisis Protocol because those models look sick. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at though with all that. And then there's Kill Team. I actually do have, I do own an Adeptus Custodes squad for Kill Team. I bought that specifically so I can try out Kill Team. I have seen people do weird stuff with Star Wars models, but yeah, the correct colors is the most popular. Exactly. Plus, like, I know, like, for me, in my mind, I would feel, like, wrong for playing with, like, you know, blue clone troopers, for example. Not blue like in terms of like 501st color scheme, but like, you know, just like blue armor, because like screw painting pure white armor. But yeah, that's kind of like where my head's been at with those games. Definitely do want to check them out at some point though, because they do look really fun. And as for Kill Team, I definitely want to like get one of the people in my gaming group to show me how to play Kill Team so I can take my Adeptus Custodes team out for a spin. I played the 4 Custodes squad not long ago. It's pretty fun, although I used 4 Terminators as proxy. Nice. Did you use your I kind of jokingly refer to them on the side as like the Power Rangers, because like you have like what is it, like 4 or 5 Terminators that you painted like as different chapters. So like you brought like, did you bring like your Power Ranger squad of Terminators with you? I say that with affection, by the way. I freaking love Power Rangers. That's why I thought of it in the first place. Just to be clear on that point. Yeah, they are totally Power Rangers. Nice. And yes, I did. Nice. You know, speaking of Power Rangers, there's this manga series that I think has also been animated now at this point. Hold on, let me find my water bottle real quick. You can tell the winter air is moving in fast because my throat is starting to feel super dry. But there's this manga series that I've been wanting to read called Go Go Loser Ranger, which is basically like, the concept of it is basically like, what if the Power Rangers were the bad guys? Basically, it's like the way the setup is that, like, you know, and like sometime in the 21st century, monsters appear, and then these 5 heroes appear to take them down. Everyone loves them, but then the heroes, the people who are like the Power Ranger equivalent, they are like, they get addicted to like all the praise and the fame, and so they're like, oh, well, we kind of need more stuff to fight. So what do? Why, they kidnap the remaining aliens and force them to create more aliens for them to fight every week. And these guys are assholes, and it's like, wow. When I first heard about this concept, like, wow, what a cool way to like turn this sort of monster on the weak, masked hero sort of formula on its head. So yeah, that's definitely a series I want to check out at some point. It's at my local bookstore, so I'm gonna definitely go check it. Yeah, it's kind of the plot of The Boys. It's definitely in that same vein of like going against like the classic like superhero tropes and everything. Definitely in the same vein. Very similar in terms of like its how do I put it? Not its plot, of course, but like its attitude, the show's attitude toward the subject material. I cannot wait for The Boys season 4. Have I tried Gen V yet? Oh no! Thank you for reminding me. Gosh. Wait, hold on. Sorry. That's copyrighted music. No, don't do that. Don't do that. What the heck was that, iTunes? Holy crap. Wait, what the hell? Why is this shuffled in here? iTunes, what the hell? Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna adjust the playlist real quick. And yes, that was the soundtrack from the movie version of my favorite musical of all time, which is Rent, which I was listening to last night as I was doing some work. But I do not understand why it's in the rotation, because I definitely did not put it there. Bro, iTunes, what are you on? I'm calling the cops. No, don't. I'm sorry. You're right. I wouldn't pirate a car, FBI. I'm sorry. God, do you remember those old anti-piracy ads where it's like, no, it was like you wouldn't download a car. That's the freaking meme from those. It's like, yeah, no shit, I wouldn't download a freaking car, FBI. Like, come on now, chill out. Whew. I am not gonna lie though, it has been ages since like we've last like even incidentally played whatchamacallit, copyrighted music on this stream. So I can tell like how like ingrained like the YouTube policies and whatnot become in my brain, because like holy shit, that triggered a fight or flight response in me big time. Do you know how fast I would download a car? Like super fast, I'm sure. What the hell? Okay, I want to clear. Can I just clear the queue at all, please? I just want my queue to be fixed, please. Oh, here we go. Here's the clear button. Man, I can't help but feel like Apple made the Windows version of iTunes just like so clunky to use on purpose. That is a conspiracy theory I am willing to take with me all the way to the grave. Alright, here we go. There we go. Very nice. Nice. Copyright-free music. Look at that. And it's so tranquil. So pure. See YouTube, everything's fine. There is no copyrighted music being played here. Not on this YouTube channel. Not on my good Christian Minecraft server. God. Despite the fact that my name is Christian, believe it or not, I have actually never run my own Minecraft. Actually, that's not true. I did have one on the Xbox version of Minecraft like ages ago with my friends. We were doing survival mode though, and it wasn't a good world seed, so we kind of just abandoned it at a certain point. It was fun though, for the time. Let's see. Perfect. I will say, even though this is like nowhere near done yet, this cloth, I will say this is low-key like the best cloth I've ever painted already. So you're moving right along here. We are moving along the right path here for sure. Okay. Glazing is actually really fun once you get the hang of it. I'm glad that I persisted and kind of forced myself to actually learn how to do this, because this is definitely something that's going to be very useful for me going forward. And even looking at like the layers we've painted so far underneath the one we're working on right now, like I actually really like how the brush strokes I left behind in the paint actually make the cloth look kind of weathered, which is pretty sick. Adds a nice little amount of realism and depth to the model. And the reason why that worked is because I painted consistently in the same direction, making sure I'm only going downward where I go downward, upward where I go upward, etc. And turning the model, not my brush, when I have to change angles for comfort or ease of access, whatever. That way I'm still like, that way I can still allow myself to paint in the same direction, but still make the adjustments I need in order to continue painting. See, I'd say that's the reason why that works, or why that is working pretty nicely. There we go. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's looking nice and rich so far. There we go. Nice. Okay. Nice. All right. I think we're gonna let this dry. And for the time being, we will move on to other areas of the model. And I think where I want to start is actually with all of our beige parts. I'm going to take some of our German camo beige. I'm going to mix it up with some of our good old friend pale sand here. And I'm going to just do a nice layer consistency level mid-tier highlight on all of our beige parts, because they're all supposed to be varying off-whites anyway, so. But I don't want them to get too bright too fast though, so. We're gonna switch back to our triangle handle brush for this too. I'm going to go bloop. We'll say that's like 2 parts German camo beige to like 1 part pale sand. Okay, actually that ended up being more like 2 and 2, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio. But yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but let's give it a shot anyway. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh yeah, that's good. This'll do. This will most certainly do. Alright, hold on. Gotta clean off this ginormous glob of paint. Holy moly. That was a lot of freaking paint. Just trying to make sure we give that a good scrubbing. Don't want our brush to be ruined. Even though this poor brush has been through so much over the course of this project already. Me saying that at this point is kind of moot. Nice, okay. Hold on. Now let's test this out on a rather innocuous part of the model. I say this bird. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. I'd say that's almost about the tone. That's just about the tone we were looking for, yeah. We are just trying to paint the most elevated parts of the model, of course. Problem is, these birds don't have a lot of depth to them. I guess it makes sense. They are birds after all. But, we will do what we can, though, to bring some definition into their tiny little pigeon bodies. I guess technically these will be doves, because I'm painting them white anyway. There we go. I might even lean into the fact that some of the brown, like, some of the scrag brown base coating is showing through it. Actually make these guys, like, maybe speckled or something. NM Celestine and her pigeons, exactly. Like, I might actually make them look like pigeons. Like, brown spots and stuff. Like flying cattle. Might actually do that. I'm not entirely opposed to that idea, actually. We have something to consider now. Low key. I need to restore this fluidity before I layer on it further. Right there. Yeah. This fleur-de-lis kind of got fucked up over the course of our NMM painting. Some breadcrumbs on the base. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Or like a little worm for them. Like, look, they were just hitching a ride, so they can go after that worm. And Celestine goes, "Oh, worm?" If you know, you know. I need to touch this up again for like the umpteenth millionth time because, my hands, my greasy ass hands will not stop picking up paint from this model. Or at least this flight stand. I really do wonder if there would have been an easier way to make it so that I could handle this model more effectively. Ah, well. And you know what? If we can't fully repair the integrity of this layer, then I'm going to figure out a way to make it work somehow when we go to like painting on the details on this scroll. Either I'll make it look like the writing has like burned off or is like smudged or smeared or something, or you know, we'll figure out something. We will make it work one way or another. We will make this work. Hey, what up, Flacco? Good to see you, Chief. How you doing? Are you done moving for the day or at all? Or like not at all, overall, I mean? I hate moving. I feel you. I feel you. Moving is one of the worst things to ever have to do. I am right there with you on that. Here we go. Sorry, your iPad died. Oh, you're good. You're good. But yeah, how'd it go? Did you finish for the day, or are you still gonna be working on it like tomorrow? Or sorry, did you manage to finish today, or are you gonna be working on it tomorrow? That's the question I'm trying to ask. My router doesn't work now. I have to wait for a technician to come on Monday. Oh, damn. What's wrong? I mean, this is just like not powering on, or like what's wrong with it specifically? Do you know? It's coming on. I'm gonna be working on it tomorrow. Damn. It's not coming up as an available network. Oh, that's weird. Huh. That is interesting. Hopefully it's just the router and like not a problem with your apartment's like coax connection or something like that. Because that would suck. Because that's gonna be, that would be a much more involved process to make that right again. I might get charged $100. What the fuck? But the problem is on their end. I'm gonna fight them if they do it. Damn. First of all, fuck your ISP for that. Second of all, I hope you are able to get this fixed and soon, and hopefully for free. Because yeah, I don't see how, like, if your router was working perfectly fine before, because I'm assuming it's the same router you just had at your old place. I don't see why, you know, if it was working perfectly fine before, it wouldn't be working again. Even in your new location, especially if like you've already confirmed that your internet provider is in that same area, or is in your new area, I mean. Man. Okay. Pre-installed. Oh, it's a new one for the new place. Okay, yeah, so that's definitely like on them to get that sorted. There we go. But yeah, Flack, I hope you're ready. I hope you're able to get that fixed soon for your sake, because being without internet is very annoying, especially because your job is partially remote, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so you need that shit up like ASAP. And hopefully you will get it up ASAP. All ASAP, no Rocky. But now I can't watch TV or anything, damn. Well, what about, does your phone have a mobile hotspot that you can use? At least for the time being? It's gonna be 53 degrees tomorrow. Oh, pretty fucking. What am I doing? Oh, yes, I'm going back to the birds. But no, I haven't tried it with my Apple TV, but I never get good service with it. Ah, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, it's useful in a pinch, but ideally, of course, you'd work with like actual like full-fledged broadband connection as opposed to just bombing it from your phone. Here we are. Let's see. Hey, Ultra Lord, what's good? Good to see you, man. How you doing? We are just doing working on other parts of the model now. You see her her cloth here looks a little different because I started glazing on a lighter blue, which I'm actually gonna get back to now because this layer should be dry. I'm pretty well. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I'm guessing that means your project has been going much better than previously. Yeah, hopefully. I'd say things are going about as good as I can ask for right now. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We'll take that. We take those. We take those. And hopefully here soon it'll go even better than what you could ask for instead. I'm actually finishing up some work for it so that I have left running before I went out for dinner. Word. Do you find that most of the time you're just like letting the computer run when it comes to your work on this project? Like you kind of just like leave it to run for like a few hours at a time, maybe more than a few hours, but you know what I'm saying. Is that kind of like the general vibe? It's kind of like waiting on a bunch of processes to finish, calculations to finish and whatnot. Here we go. It's been a lot of that. I try to read papers and stuff in the waiting time, but at this point I've read a lot of the really relevant stuff out there for the project. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Now let me ask you this. Now for like your studies, are you required to like to TA at all or teach at all? Or no, are you just really left to your own devices to do your research? So you know, like certain programs, certain like fields, they like require their people to like TA and shit, at the very least. At least that's how it works at my school that I attended. Have you played any games recently? Good question, Godzilla. No, thank God I don't have to teach. Good. Yeah, I feel like that'd be a lot to handle at the same time as this this massive project of yours. Have I played any games recently? So recently, Godzilla, I haven't had like a lot of time to play video games, unfortunately. But you know, I hop on that good old BattleBit Remastered every other night or so. Play a few games of Conquest on there. Have a hoot and holler and good time. You know how it is. that's kind of been the main thing for me. Is a lot of playing that. It would be a good experience, but it's so time consuming. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, well, I can't imagine because I was a college student myself, and yeah. What was I gonna say though? What else have I played? Let's see. Let's check my Steam library actually. Take a quick painting break here. Let's see. According to my Steam library, yeah, I've played a lot of BattleBit Remastered recently. I am getting pretty decent at that game. I'm definitely nowhere near being cracked at that game, but like I'm definitely getting somewhere with it. Definitely getting somewhere with it. What else have I played recently? I have played I played a little bit of Total War Rome 2 recently too. I'm a big fan of the Total War games. I don't talk about that very often, but I really like the Total War series. I have Total War Warhammer 2. I don't have Warhammer 3 though. But I have that. I have Total War Warhammer 2, and I have Total War Rome Emperor Edition as well. You know, I know it's like kind of a meme right now. It's like men are always thinking about the Roman Empire, and not gonna lie, that game makes it a little difficult for me to beat such allegations. It's just really fun. I like real time. I like the version of real time combat that they put forth with like your armies like spanning the whole battlefield, getting to control like individual like units and shit. I find that to be pretty fun. And the game music is like really good too. Like, criminally underrated aspect of that game in my opinion is the music. I think it is fantastic. It's like what makes that's what makes sitting down for like 3 hours at a time to play that game really easy to do. Total War Rome was my brother's jam for a long time. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I feel like your brother. I can see how your brother would be really into that in particular. Yep. You should play Armored Core 6. Oh my god, thank you so much for reminding me. That's actually still on my wish list. I need to get it. Oh my god, I totally forgot that I low-key, I hate to admit this, but I low-key forgot the game even came out. But I think I take that as a good sign. I take that as a positive thing. The fact that like the game came out, it got its praise, and then like things kind of just went silent for it is a good sign, I think, in 2023, because it means that like, yeah, no, it's a good game. No one's got really much left to say about it, you know? It's just good. Go play it. Have a good time, you know? So yeah, good on them. They got their accolades, they made their money. They're still making their money. And yeah, they're just Jay chilling at this point. I need to find another one of my paintbrushes real fast. I got into Act 3 in Armored Core 6 and I really like it. Nice. Oh yeah. Speaking of games that are like right up someone's alley. Oh yeah. That's your jam right there, Ultralord, for sure. Our resident mecha fan. I love how we have one resident mecha fan and one resident like kaiju fan. Like, talk about a perfect match right there. You know? Let's see here. Alright, I need to find... I've been New Game Plus and Plus Plus. Ooh, good shit, fam. Where the fuck are my paintbrushes? Oh, here you are. Right? Yeah, here we go, right here. I need my stippling brush. Here we go. Okay. It's time to get a little experimental yet again here in the chat. I'm gonna take some Doom Bull Brown real quick. Actually, I think I have some loaded up on the palette already. Is it still wet enough? That's good enough to use. I'm gonna take this. Gonna get some of that off. Right there. All three endings, nice. And we're just gonna stipple on some brown spots, like I said, onto our pigeons, or attempt to at least. I'm kind of struggling to make contact here, low-key. Oh, you know what? This paint is honestly probably a little too dry. I'm gonna get some fresh Doom Bull Brown. I didn't even know New Game Plus was a thing. Oh yeah, of course it is. It's a From Software game, so of course New Game Plus is gonna be a thing. That's like a staple of their games at this point. I remember back when I was playing like at my peak of like Dark Souls playing, in Dark Souls 3 I made it to like New Game Plus 3, which is far from the highest anyone's ever made it, but like it's higher than I would have ever reasonably expected to make it through that game. So yeah, oops, excuse me. Whew. Armored Core 6 is definitely the next big game I want to check out. There are some different choices you can make in the missions, and there are different endings. Ooh, now that I really like too. Love to see that. Okay. Alright, let me get most of the paint off of this brush, of course. Gotcha, I've just started to be able to make decisions where I am in the game. Nice, 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 okay. Let's see, is that good enough? That should be good enough. I need to chuck up on this a little bit more. I need to get a better grip. I need to hold this steady while I attempt to speckle these birds. Kind of tricky to access their top part though is the problem. I went for a melee mech, super fun. Ooh, yeah, I've seen clips of like the melee action in that game. It looks like pretty freaking fun. Giant laser swords and shit. I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Let's see, I'm trying to blend a little bit of black into the Doom Bull brown here. There are also two different moonlights. Ha, nice. Gotta love the Moonlight Greatsword. Gotta love the Moonlight Greatsword. That's one of my favorite things I love. Like, one of my the things I love about From Software is the fact that they've just like carried on that like that little Easter, like that like little bit of referential material for like pretty much all their games from like the modern era. Like the fact that you can find like some version of the Moonlight Greatsword in every one of their games, even like the non-Dark Souls games, I think is just really cool. My favorite version of it is easily the one from Bloodborne, in terms of like the way it looks. The Holy Moonlight Sword looks fantastic. No, actually what we're going to do, here's what we're going to do instead. I don't think stippling is the right technique for this. I think instead of stippling, what we're going to do is we're going to just take our tiny detail brush and we're just going to very carefully scythe blade mounted on your wrist that fires laser slash. Ooh, that sounds really cool. I like the way that sounds for sure. Yeah, we're just going to paint on some like blobs. The old-fashioned way, I suppose. Because stippling wasn't really working in the way that I wanted it to. Oh yeah, that's good. That's totally good. Oh, we gotta like maybe paint the head, for example. I see pigeons outside my window all the time, so it's like, you know, I got good referential material to work with, I feel like. Their patterns can be very random. So we're gonna try our best to replicate such randomness here on the model. Is that a mission reward or is that in the shop? Ultralord says, I guess regarding the scythe variant of the Moonlight Greatsword. Also, their patterns do go on to their feathers too. So there's that to keep in mind as well. We'll mix some black in now, get some color variety in there. Nice. You get the OG one in the last mission of Chapter 4 in a chest, and the Red Sky one from doing a New Game Plus Plus arena. Aha. There you go. Okay. There we go. The boss of Chapter 4 is basically oh boy. Not Mecha Melania. Blade of Mikola. Oh no. So good luck. They do a lot of stagger, which is nice. I'm guessing you're referring to the Moonlight weapons there. Alright. I'm gonna take some ivory. So what time is it? 9:15? Okay. I can keep going for a little bit. I know I mentioned earlier how I might log off early so I can get some sleep, but I'm feeling pretty good to keep going for at least a little bit longer. I can beat Balteus pretty easily, but when I first fought him, it was hell. I've seen footage of people fighting that guy. That's all I've seen. I've really seen of the game. I've seen like the first couple of levels, and I've seen the Balteus boss fight, but that's it. The worst part about it was needing plasma when you have so few options. Everyone else I know who beat it just became a tank with a massive health pool, so they didn't need to dodge. Sounds like me in Dark Souls 3 when I was fighting the Nameless King for the first like 45 attempts at that boss fight. Also, wait a second. Before I get too far ahead of myself here, I totally forgot to mention. So guys, I don't know if you saw my Instagram stories recently, but our boy Ultralord here in the chat, our dear moderator, has also recently started posting his own miniature painting on social media, particularly on Instagram and Twitter. Ultralord, feel free to drop your @ in the chat, my guy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone here actually already follows him, but in case you don't, go do that. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our boy Ultralord for taking the big jump off the deep end and into the world of content creation. Congrats, my guy, on the launch this week. Proud of you, dog. Looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. Okay, I think I need to get in like here too. Thanks, bro. I think it's at Poster Boy Paints on Insta, the platform formerly known as. Yes, it is at Poster Boy Paints. That is true. That is very true. Has anyone asked you, by the way, where that username came from yet, or no? I cannot wait until you have to explain why it's Poster Boy Paints to people. I feel like they're gonna get a crack out of that explanation. Yep, I need to change my name here on YouTube. Oh yeah, Godzilla. Yeah, you already follow him. That's true. Yeah, yeah, that's Ultra Lord. Yep, correct. Correct. Super smooth. Your stuff looks rad, by the way. Oh yeah, absolutely it does. Your name took me out, not gonna lie. And I mean, it's because I'm Poster Boy Destiny too, but it's sort of just becoming it. Yeah, so so y'all already know that Ultra Lord and I, we've been friends for like 12 years at this point. And I mean, I say I play from time to time. I haven't played in like literally like, God, when did Witch Queen come out? We used to play Destiny 2 a lot together, and like he's like the biggest Destiny 2 fan out of all of our friends, and so like we referred to him as Poster Boy Destiny because he's basically the poster child for that game. So yeah, that's where that comes from in a nutshell. A little bit of not hidden lore, a little bit of Ultra lore for Ultra Lord, the artist formerly known as Ultra Lord, I should say. Oh god. Oh man, I cracked myself up. Okay. Just going now with this ivory. Going on this skull real quick. But ting. Which knight's your favorite? I really like the Lancer. Ooh. Good question. Which is my favorite knight? I think my favorite knight. I mean, honestly, I actually have to think about that. Give me 1 second to finish these highlights and I'll answer your question. Let's see. The one with the big harpoon and the flamer. Is that the not the Dominus? What's that one called? I made a meme about that one on my TikTok. A while back. Give me 1 second. I gotta pull up my TikTok so I can look at this. Hold on. I often don't remember the knights by their names. I only remember them by their physical descriptions. Oh my god. Let's see. Pretty sure that's the Crusade. You're talking about, I think, the Crusader Ultralord, I want to say, but no, my favorite one's the I like the Preceptor. I like the Preceptor. That one's my favorite one, Godzilla, to answer your question. Guess the strength of the Lancer's lance. I'm going to guess it is strength 21. Because that's an insane number, and I feel like it's an insane number. $20 for strike and 10 for swing. Okay, so I was pretty close. Damn. That's fucking crazy. Bro, honestly, sometimes I don't understand how, sometimes I really don't understand how knights and every other faction in the game are in the same fucking game sometimes. Shit's crazy. Shooting is pretty meh, though. No. Do things ever go above, even go above 20 that aren't Titans and Super Heavies? No. The answer is no, they do not. I don't even think the biggest Tyranid monster goes above, or the biggest non-Forge World Tyranid model, I don't think goes above 18, 15 maybe? Godzilla, you'd be the expert on that one. Hold on, I'm kind of looking into that right now. Let's see. Where am I now? Oh yeah. Gonna go back to highlighting burbs. Gotta do the burbs. The highest toughness for Nids is 14. Dang. That's crazy. I haven't played Tyranids. I haven't played against Tyranids in 10th edition yet, and I'm really scared to, at least with my sisters. Like, we literally have no answer to something that tough. Not really. Not really. Not anymore, at least. Meltas are not a decent enough answer to such a imposing figure, frankly. I really am just randomly applying colors to my pigeons at this point. like randomly, but somewhat strategically, but also just kind of letting the color fall where it wants to fall. Try and get a more naturalistic look to their spotting patterns. But the Biotitan also has a 20 strength melee. Ah, interesting, interesting. Biotitan, that's a Forge World model for the Tyranids, right? Godzilla Nid? Pretty sure I've seen that one on the Forge World website at least. Okay. Okay. $110% Forge World. Yeah, over $600. Sheesh. Goddamn. That's one of those models where it's like, well, it's either that model or it's rent for the month. My goodness. Let's see here. Oh, our little birds are actually looking pretty decent there. Okay. I fuck with that. I fucks with that. You're gonna paint your Death Guard pink, right? It's gonna be like pink and sky blue, and like a bright orange. That's gonna be the color scheme for my Death Guard. Yeah, there's gonna be some pink thrown in there, some blues. You know, I've recently become the owner of both a Revenant and a Phantom Titan for my Eldar, so I'm going to be posting the progress on them when I get around to painting those. Nice, just gotta work on a bunch of stuff before. Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, I know your backlog is like probably sky high right now with what all the work you've been doing on your research. That's the one thing about pursuing higher education is it doesn't leave a lot of time for mini painting, and at that point you have to really stop and ask yourself. Is it worth it? No, I'm kidding. Of course it's worth it. Oh my god. Am I gonna need fresh paint? Is this paint too far gone? I think this paint might be too far gone. Yeah, I'd rather get fresh paint. Here we go. I just need to get a little bit more blue. Those both cost like $300 and $600. Yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you get your hands on those? Well, the Phantom I've had for a long time. It's armor cast, kind of like the Proto Forge World. If you don't know about it, what's is it like a different type of resin? Is it still like resin in general? Ultra Lord? I've never heard of armor cast. It's basically Forge World before Forge World, and the Revenant is Forge World, but it was a gift from a friend ditching his Eldar. Oh, W. Excellent. That's a good friend right there. And yeah, exactly. It's basically Forge World before Forge World. Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, cool. Cool. And paint this little jewel. Let me check my fingers, because I might have to do a little something drastic here. Drastic? Whew. Nice, there we go. Got that little... I decided that that's going to be a gemstone on her shoulder right there. Right there. I'm literally blocking it. Right there, I mean. So yeah, I like that. I like the way that looks. Oh, you're a poster boy. I added... Aha! Yep, there you go. See? There we go. Nice, so we do all follow you here. That's what I thought. That is what I thought. And yes, Nikki, that is... indeed, Ultra Lord. Okay. Now, how do I want to go about getting a lighter layer here? Do I actually have a lighter? I do have deep sky blue. Perfect. Okay. Going to transition to deep sky blue, isn't it? For this next layer. It's going to be a wee bit brighter. For our cloth layering, I mean. And this one's only going to go on the top side, because this, I think, is a little too bright to put on the bottom part. Unless it goes in, like, the very edges of it, maybe. That's gonna be a good shade, I can tell. What's the number? 66. Okay, cool. So 66 being the number, that means that this is not gonna need that much water to get down to the consistency that we want. So I need to be a little careful as I go about thinning this down to a glaze consistency. Otherwise, we might destroy the integrity of the paint entirely. Fingernail test. Fingernail test is inconclusive because I can literally not see the paint at all. In fact, I think it actually all came off the brush because I think it was that watery, which kind of tells me everything I need to know about the consistency in it. Let's see, I need a new fingernail to test on. That's pretty good. I'm gonna put a little bit more paint in there. So I don't want it to be quite so glazy. It's gotta be like just barely glazy. That's probably a little too far in the other direction. Yeah, that's very much too far in the other direction. Okay. More water then. Yeah, these thinning ratios are not universal. Also, Nick, your Terminators you dip up as all the different chapters are really dope. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. I guess you meant to say did up right there, right, Ultra Lord? Oh, you said did up. Oops, I just misread your chat there. My bad, my guy. My bad, slime. Dang, okay, I think this sky blue is actually low-key kind of tricky. It's because it's so light already. I'm adding like little like just like barely loading the tip of my brush with water. Adding about that much water at a time. Dyslexia hits from time to time. It's high, you're right. The standalone boxes come out tomorrow. I'm gonna have to paint a lot more. Don't know how yet though. With a lot of strength and determination, strength of heart and determination, you will get it done. That's how. Ooh, that's looking very nice. I forgot. I completely forgot that it's Space Marine release week. It's exciting times. Yeah, it's pretty exciting to do the jump. Yeah, pretty excited to do the jump pack intercessors. Hell yeah. The jump pack intercessors look really cool. I saw the pictures of those like a few weeks ago. I was like, damn, those are pretty cool. If I were a Space Marine player, I'd be pretty excited about those. I do own some Space Marines. I have some salamanders that I painted in order to like get used to the Army Painter speed paints like ages ago. Sitting on my shelf. They're just the old Elite Edition starter set Space Marine half from 9th edition. So it's like a captain, the 3 outriders, and 5 assault intercessors. But, you know, I might actually expand that into a full-fledged salamander army one of these days. We'll see. We shall see about that. I'd like to. They're my favorite Space Marine chapter, so. Dang, this looks really nice. I'm actually a really big fan of the way this looks. Thus far. That's ready for another layer. That's not glaze consistency at all. Hold on. More water. That's what this calls for. There we go. Nice. There we go. Perfect. I think that was thunder that just went off outside, but I could be wrong. I don't think it's raining up in here yet, or up in my area yet. Something definitely did just crash outside though. I'm gonna try and make some of these lines down here disappear a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to our medium blue. I'm gonna get that back down to a nice glaze consistency, and I think I'm gonna try and blend out these lines I'm seeing in a few places. Kind of like how when we were doing our non-metallic metal, you know? Since we're pretty adept at that at this point, you know? Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna blend out some of these lines here. Might do the same on the back side too if I see some hard edges. Okay. That's definitely helping to smooth over those transitions. For sure. I really like how, like, this sort of, like, wispiness of the layers that we've applied. Because I kind of like how it looks like energy is sort of coursing through her robes. In fact, I wonder if I can enhance that effect by like adding like lines that look like they're like electricity or something crackling and coursing through. In fact, I'm gonna try doing that right now actually. This would be a good point in the process to try and do some... I guess it would normally be considered like weathering, except this time it's more like a special effect. Because we're gonna make it look like lightning, like I said. Just need a little bit of white paint to do this. I need to get that tip rolled to a nice fine point. And then when we go back and we continue to layer our glazes, it'll just go right on top of that, and we'll try to make it blend in kind of sort of. Yeah, I fuck with this. More paint. We need more paint. Oh, wait, actually, this looks kind of cool. Oh, fuck, wait, I actually really like this. Yo, that looks dope. That looks dope as shit. Hold on. It is so hard to do this when the model keeps vibrating like 30 million times a second. Good news is, though, with painting on lightning, it's not like the It's not like this shit's gotta be exact or anything like that, because, I mean, it is lightning after all. It is lightning. It do be lightning after all. Do be electricity. I'm gonna make this one come off of this. And see, this goes back to the point I was talking about earlier about how like mini painting is like interesting in that, like, unlike other art forms where, like, you know, with like writing or composing music where you can like kind of go back and kind of like Command Z or Control Z if you're, you know, a Windows person like me, your mistakes, you know, you can undo mistakes with miniature painting. It's just a lot more difficult to do, and sometimes when you like when something doesn't work quite as you expected it to, you just gotta, you know, either have to roll with it, or, you know, and maybe like change course, or you you go through all the drastic steps you need to do in order to like right your mistake, you know. And sure, that's all well and good, you could do that, but I think it's a lot more fun to go with the flow and see where, and just continue to see where like this thing takes you, you know. Which is what we are doing right now, actually. Because the sort of snag I realized we hit as I was like working on the robes, I'm like, I think the transition between these two, these like three colors I've selected might be a little too drastic and not gradual enough to get like the glazing effect I was really going for initially. And it still looks great, but it's definitely like, I'm like, okay, it's time to low-key like interpret this a little bit differently than was originally intended, because it looks a little wild. So I'm like, okay, how can I like meet the model kind of where it's at? And so I'm like, fuck it, let's paint some lightning onto the robes. That'll look cool. It'll also stand out tremendously from literally every other model in this army. Like, no one else has lightning effects on them. That's pretty freaking neat, you know? Plus, I've been kind of looking for an excuse to try out doing like lightning effects, electricity effects and stuff for a while. That's something I've been wanting to try for a while, so it all works in the end. It all works out in the end. And now I have one more thing I can say I can do with my miniatures. Woo! Holy shit. I dropped her. Woo! Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Woo! Okay, we're good. No paint. No paint got on. No extra paint got on the model. We're good. The 15mm Swedish infantry I was painting had the army book recommend a color for their uniform. That was totally inaccurate, so I just decided that I was going to see it through since I realized too late. Word. That scream. So the work working out is nice. Thanks. God damn. Yeah, I know, right? Shit. God, man. Oh, I'm glad y'all can relate. That was terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty freaking terrifying right there for a split second. I thought we weren't gonna make it out of this one alive, boys. Oh boy. That was about to be really fucking bad. Ah, goddamn. Alright. Whew. Crisis averted, as they say. Oh my god. You ever use those GW paint handles? Yeah, I have one. It's just that, The reason why I haven't been using it with Celestine is because it just she's like, the reason is because I'm trying to hold it closer to the model so that it doesn't jiggle as much, because like when I was holding it with the paint handle originally, I think this was the one stream you missed, Nikki, but yeah, we just found like it was just vibrating way too much. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll just hold it by hand myself. That's why I've been like, you know, every time I'm like, oh, some paint came off, I'm like, okay, yeah, deserved. It wasn't a surprise to me at all, because I'm like, yeah, well, that's a little bit, I knew this would happen when we decided to go this route with how we want to handle the model. So yeah, but I have both sizes of the paint handle. I love them. It's actually like my second favorite product that GW produces, right behind their paint cup. Right behind the paint cup. I was gonna say that I can't use those because I always end up bumping the base off the handle. Oh, real. So yeah, true, because like sometimes like if you get like a bad one, then yeah, it's like the springs inside of the inside like just below where the base sits can like trip, and then it's just like fires your fucking model out, just like those old Nerf guns that used to fire discs. It's kind of like that, unfortunately for your model. But yeah, no, I get you. It's like when they work, they're great, but sometimes when they don't work, it's like, it gets a little precarious there, to put it mildly. Ooh, this looks really cool. I am very happy that I took this route, and they launched my models. Yeah. Wait, I think I read that message already, but yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. For like a little bit. I don't think we're gonna have electricity coursing all up and down the back, but I think it makes sense to have it wrap around from like the edge a little bit. Hey, you know what? I can't believe I didn't even think of like the electricity idea before, because like looking at this, I'm like, damn, yeah, this model needed this the whole time. I really like this. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Make sure that wraps around the corner. Back to the two. just like paint that right there, and then boom. Okay, we got that corner, and then I want it to wrap around this corner too. All right. I'm gonna go back over a couple of these. Just brighten them up a little bit. Doesn't have to be everywhere. Nice. Yeah. Okay. All right. I am a huge fan of what we have done here tonight, my friends. I think before we go, I am going to take our ivory back over here and apply some more of that. Here and there. Watered my ivory down a little bit too much there, but that's okay. That is okay. I think we are going to need a little bit of edge highlighting. On the cloak right here. Does that make sense? Since we have our lightning effect now, and like right here, and then also, oh, careful, Christian. Okay, cool. Also gonna get it done on the edge here, of course. Doesn't have to be super heavy, just enough. There we go. All right. Okay. I am willing to call that done for the night. All right. Well, that's pretty exciting. I think she looks pretty cool. What do y'all think? I'm thinking that's actually looking pretty freaking sick. All right. Well, friends, as always, it has been real. Thank you, Ultralord. Appreciate you, dog. Thank you all so much for coming by tonight. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream before you go if you like what you saw here tonight. Like I said before, I will be back next week on the, what is that, the 20th. Oh, wow, we are coursing through the month of October. Right here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/@ChimeraGames. If you want to follow me on my social medias, all those can be found below. And always, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. We've hit 145 subscribers recently, which is great. We are well on our way to hitting that 200 subscriber goal, as you can see, as indicated by the progress bar above. One more time, just want to give a shout out to our boy Ultralord, who has started his own hobbying social media endeavors. You can follow him at @posterboypaints. Let me make sure I got that at right. I did get the at right, Ultralord? Yeah, Posterboy Paints, that's what it is, not Posterboy Painting. Let me put it in the chat one more time. At Posterboy Paints if you want to give him a follow. And yeah, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell too, that way you know exactly when we go live. And until I see y'all next time, I hope you all have a great weekend. Be well. Peace out. And yeah, you can find him on Insta and Twitter. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Ultralord. Alright, y'all, I'm outie. Peace.